Welcome back to On the Road with JVW. We are at Tortuga Mountain in the Las Cruces area, also known locally as A Mountain, the letter A, because it has a big letter A on the west side of the mountain. You can't see that from the angle we're at, but it's up there. I've seen it. Presumably that's for the New Mexico State University Aggies, although I like to think it's just an A, as in A Mountain. At any rate, it's a short and steep mountain. You can see the antenna at the top. That's where we're headed. There's an observatory up there. There are a number of trails that apparently go around the base of the mountain, but we're going to take the one you see that just sort of goes straight up. I think it's called the Turtleback Trail, but I've also seen it referred to as the Straight Up Trail. I like the sound of that. It's about a mile up, almost 700 feet elevation change. So we got our work cut out for us. We're heading up here this evening, both to avoid the heat. It's been a fairly pleasant day, low 80s, but they do get a lot of sun here. But also because this is supposed to be a spectacular place to see the sunset, and we're about an hour before sunset, and it should take probably 45 minutes or so to get up this trail, so hopefully we've timed it just right. So let's get going. Okay, we're about 3/10 of a mile into the trail. We've come up about 200 feet elevation change. You can see where we came from below, where the parking lot is. In fact, the parking lot's full today, so we had to park down below. Pretty popular hike, it looks like, this time of day. So far, the trail has been as advertised. Straight up. Definitely steep. Definitely get your heart pumping. Not a long trail, but you'll certainly feel it. It lets you know that it's there. Let's keep heading up. Okay, we're back. We're half a mile into the hike now, 492 feet of elevation change. And I think we're coming to the last stretch here. We can see the observatory up there. So I don't believe this is actually a mile up. I think it's closer to probably 3/4 of a mile, maybe 7/10 of a mile. I don't imagine we've got more than 2/10 to a quarter mile left to go here on the home stretch. Not unbearable, right? I mean, you know, you certainly feel it, but if it was your first hike out here, you'd probably feel it more than I'm feeling this one. It's really it's a good workout, but it's kind of moderate so far. Let's keep going. Okay, we made it. So 7/10 of a mile, about 650 feet elevation gain. Only took 19 minutes. At what I thought was kind of a moderate clip. Certainly had a couple of gears left that I could have kicked it into if I'd been in a hurry. So, you know, really nice hike. I really like it. There's a few structures up here, so you can see Tortugas Mountain Observatory, which is part of New Mexico State University property. There's also a couple of shrines up here, for lack of a better word, that I'll show you. I did read a little something about this. This is sort of a pilgrimage at a certain time of year, I think in December. I don't know if it's one of the indigenous tribes, I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's Our Lady of Guadalupe. What they call it, and they make a pilgrimage up here in December, and I think a number of folks actually do it barefoot, so that would be a challenge because it's a very rocky trail. My understanding is that the west side of the mountain, which is the side of the mountain we came up and are standing on, is controlled, operated by New Mexico State University, whereas the east side of the mountain is federal land, operated by the Bureau of Land Management, BLM. So kind of an interesting shared space there. Big antenna satellite dishes up there. Not exactly sure what that structure is. The views here to the west, that's Las Cruces. In the foreground is New Mexico State University. You can see some of the buildings from here, and then Las Cruces proper. sticked around a little bit on the college campus today, New Mexico State. Nice campus, nice historic kind of Southwest style buildings, as you would expect. Very nice looking place. You can see we're already starting to get some color here. It's about 6:24, so we've got about 35 minutes before sunset. And we'll walk over, take a look at the views from the east side of the mountain. These are the views to the east. So those are the Organ Mountains, O-R-G-A-N, and the Dripping Springs natural area. And down there in that little valley there is where I'm staying, in a casita down there, about probably 10 minutes away from here by car. You get some interesting light on these mountains. I've seen pictures where there are all sorts of different colors. The other night I was out about this time, and the reflection off one side of the mountains, they were ivory almost, just pure white. So we'll look to see if we get some color on those tonight. Again, some really great views from up here, and as we get more color, we'll try to capture some more views. My evaluation of this trail, I really like it. It's a no-nonsense kind of trail and a no-nonsense kind of mountain. It certainly isn't the jaw-dropping peaks of the Organ Mountains. It's not a real pretty mountain to see from the distance. And the trail, it's not one of those fancy trails. You're not going to find a lot of log bridges or switchbacks or waterfalls or anything like that. It's a trail that makes no apologies. It is what it is. You want to come up the mountain? All right, straight up. Here we go. Straight up trail. You want to see views? Straight up. That's where you go. So I really like that. Kind of reminds me of this YouTube channel, right? Just nothing fancy, no apologies. But if you want some good views, some good hikes, without a lot of clutter and a lot of fancy gadgets and gizmos, well, maybe this is the channel for you. And if you like that sort of thing, maybe this is the hike for you. If you don't like the ups, you sort of got to grin and bear it, because again, it's a short trail, 7/10 of a mile, and the payoff is these views. So we're going to sign off now. Hopefully we'll get some good sunset views, and we'll capture those as well. Well, it's officially sunset now. You can see the last remaining rays of the sun to the west, just setting beyond those mountains. Beautiful colors on the horizon. Despite the full parking lot, we have the summit to ourselves right now, so we're enjoying this, just us. Take it in. And take one last look at the sunset as you see the lights, the city below start to come to life. Really great views up here. Definitely worth the climb for these views. Thanks for joining us on this sunset edition of On the Road with JVW. We're going to grab our headlamp and start to head down. As always, thanks for watching.